Hello everyone, this is Prachit Mhalgi, roll number 171132. I am from LY Comms A, and today I am going to present a paper by Saeed Sazal titled as A Survey on Cybersecurity Threats and Challenges in the Modern Society. So before getting started, let me walk you through the contents of the scope of the video. So first we'll see the introduction and background behind the emergence of the cybersecurity. Then we'll see the role cybersecurity plays in the modern society, what all the challenges it needs to face, what is the need of the cybersecurity in today's age. Then we'll see some of the top security threats such as hacking, ransomware, phishing attacks and all. And we'll see some of the preventive techniques or solutions on these security threats. And then we'll see the cybersecurity challenges, the challenges faced by cybersecurity, and in the end, I will conclude. So let's get started. First is the introduction and background. As we all know, there is a rapid advancement in the technology, and we are heavily dependent on all types of new technologies, the computers, then mobiles. We store a lot of information on these devices, portable storage devices, and therefore there is also a rise of various cybercrimes related to it, because this information could fall under the sensitive information category, which could be stolen and used against us to harm us. So the main reason behind the cyber attacks is basically the convenience of them over the physical attacks. As we know, the inexpensive nature and the lesser risk factor over as compared with the physical attacks makes them even more widespread, as all you need is basically a computer and internet connection. That's it. And that's why there is a rise in the cyber crimes, in cyber attacks in recent times, and the increasing numbers suggest the same. There is also prediction that it would cost almost 6 trillion annually to protect ourselves from these cyber attacks. Almost 1 in 10 URLs are actually malicious, and almost 4,800 average number of websites are getting compromised in an year, in a small span of 2 to 3 years. So we can see there is huge risk factor for basically the businesses mainly, as to recover from them or to prevent against them, they need to spend a lot of time, a lot of money, and that's why we need to come up with the more robust solutions for these cybersecurity threats. Now we'll see the role of cybersecurity in our modern society. Before going into that, we'll see some of the definitions related to the cybersecurity thing. And first is the threat. A threat is basically a modern danger, a possible danger that might exploit a vulnerability to breach the security. So what are these vulnerabilities? Vulnerability could be anything such as a weak passwords or maybe some backdoors in the program code of the application, the systems connected, which are connected over the internet, and some person could exploit these these vulnerabilities, and gain access to our system, and could steal our data, and use this data against us. And as we all know, because of this internet revolution, almost all the sectors, businesses from all the sectors are on the web to reach to more number of customers and to increase their businesses. And that is why these threats are not just limited to any particular sector. As we can see in the pie graph, they are almost every sector is equally at risk because of these cybersecurity threats. You can see there is a transportation and public utilities. Then there is 8% for construction, 8% for services, 9% for mining. So we can say that basically all the sectors need some kind of robust solutions to these threats. So now we'll see some of the top security threats. We'll understand some of the threats, which are nothing but the first is the ransomware. It is basically some sort of malicious software which attempts to encrypt which attempts to scramble your data and extort ransom so that it could release the unlock code. So mostly these ransomwares are spread through emails, malicious emails, spams mostly, and they could gain sensitive information. And the possible solutions over this could be mainly the vigilance. Basically, the employees and the users should be trained and aware of all these things. Then there should be timely system updates, software updates, and data backups, and there should be the protection installed in your systems from malware. So that is it. Now we'll see the second, which is hacking. And as we are all aware that hacking is nothing but getting the access to an IT system of an organization, but from outside the organization, so that you can gain the unauthorized control over it. and this could happen to anything like they could steal your account information, finance information, classified documents, then intellectual property as well. So this is also one of the risky attacks, and to conquer these things, we need to have perfect firewalls. Then there should be the data access security and efficient and effective access management, and the user awareness and the training will also help to mitigate risks. Now there is the data leakage. This is the widespread and one of the most lethal weapons we could say in this thing, because we all are heavily dependent on all kinds of devices, the portable storage devices, because of the ubiquitous nature and the inexpensive nature of them. And this could make a target for these data thieves. And so if this data gets stolen, there is a huge possibility of data leakage, which will lead to the unprecedented damage to the organization. And that is why what we can do is whatever devices we are using, it should be locked, it should be encrypted, so that no one can gain access to our data. And even if they get stolen, there should be the functionality to wipe the data remotely, basically tracking down the device with the GPS and wipe all the data. So this could help us. Then there is a phishing attack. Phishing is basically the attempt to gain sensitive information while acting as a trustworthy contact. So basically, it is similar to the ransom. Basically, a person who is trying to attack will pose as someone trustworthy to you, and this also spread through email. And there are different types of phishing. Mainly, what we actually said right now is spear phishing, and there is also one part known as whaling, where fake email from a CEO can apply pressure to CFO into making some urgent payments, and this also happened, and this is known as whaling. So as I said that the phishing attack spread through the emails, the possible remedy over it could be the spam filters, which, because the sort of attack it is basically is the person. So spam filter will be a very good option. Apart from that, antivirus, anti-malware systems should be installed in the PCs systems, and the vigilance. So the next is insider threat, which is similar to the data leakage, where there is a possibility of one of the staff members leaking the data, maybe accidentally or intentionally. But there is huge underestimation by the organizations toward this potential damage of this threat, and which could lead to the unprecedented damage, and which needs to be taken care of, but with the help of strict policies and the access management and the staff awareness. Now the next is computer viruses and worms. Viruses are nothing but some type of mysterious program which actually infects our machine negatively, and it alters the way our computer works normally without knowledge or permission of the owner. And the worms are like malwares which try to decrease the bandwidth of the network, and thereby slows our systems down. So as I said, the virus needs to spread through executable files. They need human interaction, whereas worms don't. So worms easily and more spread more easily and rapidly. So the possible solutions could be the timely cache clearance, then download safety, and misleading pop-ups, bewaring from the misleading pop-ups. Now we are understanding the cybersecurity challenges in our modern society, which are the ransomware evolution, the Internet of Things, artificial intelligence expansion, blockchain evolution, and server apps vulnerability. As we learned about the ransomwares, basically because of the unique characteristic, the hacker can monetize the efforts, and big corporations might have to pay big due to the security vulnerability in their systems. And it could happen to any entities such as small businesses, medium scale businesses, large corporations, governments, where the confidentiality and privacy are very crucial. so which is it's one of the major challenges right now. Then, as we know, Internet of Things is nothing but connecting our hardware with the internet as a backbone, and that's why we could encounter a lot of security challenges to minimize the security flaws in our IoT components. Then there is in artificial intelligence expansion. It is expanding day by day, and intelligence is just not possible without the artificial intelligence. So that's why it's a must to. And in this, the machines actually interact with humans like human, and it actually is very challenging if the control of the machine like human is compromised by breaching the security. And yeah, that's another challenge. And then there is a blockchain revolution as well. Even though it is mainly created by keeping in mind the security techniques, there are a lot of new cryptocurrencies being created, and without the proper security protection, these cryptocurrencies can be misplaced, or the security of these monetary systems can be collapsed as well. So yeah, that's another challenge. And then the serverless apps are basically a lot risky, as a lot of security, there are a lot of security flaws in their systems. There is no particular server above on which they are being hosted. That's why we should take the proper security measures to protect us from this challenging serverless apps vulnerability. So now, in conclusion, we can say that there is always going to be a lot of technological advancement all the way, and it is also making our lives better, convenient, and but along with them, there is higher possibility of cybersecurity threats increasing. The challenges and threats the cybersecurity is facing might increase in the future, and so to conquer, to protect ourselves from these threats, these cyber attacks, we especially need awareness in people. They need to be trained properly to fight back the cyber attacks, and we need to come up with better and more robust solutions, because as per the prediction, there could be a lot of spending of time and resources, such as money, to conquer these cybersecurity things. And without knowing actually the threats and the challenges faced by cybersecurity, we cannot do this. We cannot come up with the new better solutions. And that is why this paper explains the basic threats and our challenges faced by the cybersecurity threats. So